Polar bears are the largest of the world's bear species. They have a remarkable ability to devour large amounts of fat rapidly when food is available, and then to fast for protracted periods when it is scarce. They are also metabolically unique in being able to switch from a normal state to a slowed down, hibernation-like condition at any time of year when there is death. Other species can only do this in the winter. Polar bears evolved from brown bears, Ursus arctos, during the late Pleistocene. The oldest known fossil, dating from less than 100,000 years ago, was found in London's Kew Gardens. Their molars and premolars are more jagged and sharper than the flat grinding teeth of other bears, reflecting their rapid evolutionary shift to a carnivorous diet. Despite their very different appearance, polar and brown bears are closely related, and in captivity can interbreed to produce young. And there has been recent cases of polar bear and grizzly bear hybrids in the wild. Polar bears live on the ice-covered waters of the circumpolar Arctic. They occur in about 20 populations that interbreed very little. Individual populations vary in size from a few hundred to a few thousand, with a world population estimated at 22,000 to 27,000. Their preferred habitat is the annual ice near the coastlines of continents and islands, where there are high densities of ringed seals, Phoca hispida, their primary prey. Some polar bears are also found on the less productive thick, multi-year pack ice of the central Arctic Ocean. The southern limit of their distribution in winter varies with the southern extent of seasonal pack ice in the Bering, Labrador, and Barents Seas. In areas where the ice melts completely in summer, such as Hudson Bay or southeastern Baffin Island, they spend several months on shore, fasting on their stored fat reserves until the waters freeze in the fall. Depending on the area, the sizes of their home ranges may vary from a few hundred to over 300,000 square kilometers, 115,000 square miles. The bears are plantigrade, and have 5 toes with non-retractable claws on each foot. The forepaws are large and oar-like as an adaptation for swimming, but the toes are not webbed. In the water, the hind legs serve only as rudders. The body is stocky, but lacks the shoulder hump that characterizes the brown bear. The polar bear's neck is longer in relation to the rest of the body than in other bears. The ears are small, the fur white, and the skin beneath the coat is black. The main food source is ringed and, to a lesser degree, bearded seals, which the bears capture they surface to breathe. They can locate seal breathing holes under a meter, 3.3 feet, or more of compacted, wind-blown snow, from measured distances of almost a kilometer, 0.6 miles, entirely by smell, one of the greatest olfactory feats among mammals. Polar bears also prey opportunistically on walruses, belugas, Delphinapterus lucus, narwhals, Monodon monoceros, waterfowl, and seabirds. The largest proportion of their annual caloric intake occurs between about late April and mid-July, when newly weaned ringed seal pups are abundant, naive, and composed of 50% fat by wet weight. When polar bears are fasting, they are capable of synthesizing protein and water biochemically and of recycling metabolic byproducts. In Hudson Bay, where the annual ice melts completely by mid-July and does not refreeze until mid-November, pregnant females do not feed for 8 months, during which time they must support themselves as well as their newborn cubs. Polar bears of all other ages and sex classes may occupy temporary dens for weeks on end to conserve energy during periods of particularly cold or inclement weather. Polar bears mostly live a solitary existence, with the exception of breeding pairs and family groups. At times during the open water season in summer and fall, a dozen or more adult males may fast together at preferred sites, along the coast in cohesive groups. Competition for females is precluded at this time because testosterone levels are low, and in addition there is no food to compete for. Larger groups may also tolerate each other's company when feeding off a large food source such as a dead whale. Polar bears breed in April and May. Since females generally keep their cubs for 2.5 years, they are available for mating only once every 3 years. Competition for females is consequently intense, which probably explains why males are twice the size of females. Females have induced ovulation, which means they must mate many times over a period of several days before ovulation and fertilization can occur, and breeding pairs must remain together for 1 to 2 weeks to ensure successful mating. A female may mate with more than one male if her first suitor is displaced. Polar bears also have delayed implantation until mid-September to mid-October, depending on latitude. In most areas, the young are born in a snow den some 2 to 3 months later, with their eyes closed and weighing about 0.6 kilograms, 1.3 pounds. At birth, their body hair is so fine that they have mistakenly been reported as hairless. Cubs are nursed by the female until late March or early April, when they weigh 10 to 12 kilograms, 22 to 26 pounds, and are large enough to accompany their mother onto the sea ice. Females mate for the first time at 4 to 5 years of age, and continue to have cubs until they die. About 2/3 of the litters are twins, while single cub litters are next most common. Triplets, while infrequent, are not rare, occurring at frequencies of up to 12% in some populations in some years, though usually less than 5%. The largest litters and heaviest cubs are born to the heaviest adult females, aged about 8 to 18, while younger and older females are the more likely to have single cub litters. There are a small number of documented instances of adult females switching their litters in the wild, as well as of adopting unrelated bears.